This week, Yamaha announced a new rally version of their super popular Tenere 700. So in today's video, we're going to look over the base specs of the standard bike, as well as what you get extra in this special edition. But before we get started, if you're new here and you want to see more of the latest motorcycle news and rumours, then please do remember to hit subscribe. The Tenere first saw the light of day as the T7 concept at EICMA in 2016. Yamaha then managed to turn it into a production reality within a few years, launching in early 2019. It went on to become the best-selling middleweight adventure bike in Europe with over 8,000 units shifted. And it's easy to see why Yamaha appear to have listened to what many punters have been asking for in that slice of the market. A simple, reasonably slender bike with good mechanical components and genuine off-road capability at an accessible price point. The Tenere 700 is powered by the proven parallel twin that's also used in the MT-07 and XSR 700. From its 689 cc's, it produces a respectable 72 horsepower at 9,000 RPM and 68 Nm of peak torque at 5,500. The only major change from the MT-07 is that instead of a 16:43 final drive ratio, the Tenere 700 uses 15:46. That's about 10% lower, giving it a touch more torque at the rear wheel at the sacrifice of out-and-out top speed. It uses a 270-degree crank which produces that satisfying cross-plane sound. Much like the rest of the bike, there's nothing particularly fancy about this engine. It's just a good, simple, solid and reliable choice with decent enough power for a bike of this size. The double cradle tubular steel frame and aluminium swing arm, however, are not taken directly from the MT-07. They're bespoke to the Tenere in an attempt to build something that's usable both on-road and off. There's specific strengthening around the headstock, for example, in order to cope with the demands of undulating surfaces, and the body of the bike is narrow to aid weight transfer and agility. Of course, the seat height is relatively tall at 875mm, owing to a substantial ground clearance of 240mm, but at 205 kg curb, it's certainly not the heaviest middleweight adventure bike. The 16-litre tank offers plenty of range at a little over 200 miles. Upside-down forks and a monoshock courtesy of KYB offer 210 and 200mm of travel respectively. Both are fully adjustable, so preload and rebound and compression damping can all be tweaked to your liking, with a remote preload adjuster on the shock in order to make quick changes on the go if you're picking up a passenger or luggage, for example. Brakes are from Brembo with twin 2-pot calipers on 282mm wavy discs at the front and a single pot on a 245mm disc at the rear. These are hardly the highest spec or most powerful brakes you can buy, but on loose surfaces, a softer initial bite can be a good thing. Wheels are spoked, of course, with a 21-inch front and 18-inch rear, shod with Pirelli's Scorpion Rally STR tyres. The electronics on the Tenere 700, much like the MT-07, are super simple, and in many people's eyes that'll be a good thing. There are no rider modes, there's no IMU, in fact it doesn't even have traction control, just ABS which is switchable for off-roading. There's a rally-style LCD dash which is prominently placed and an accessory bar located just above, which combined with the 12-volt socket mean you can fit your own phone or sat-nav for anything more than basic riding information. The quad LED headlights look particularly good to me, thankfully carried over from the original concept. Where the Tenere really succeeds is on its price though. When it was introduced, it came in at just under £8,500, and although the UK 2020 starting price has risen to £9,147, it still represents a relatively cheap option in the adventure market. Bikes like the Africa Twin, for example, start at around £13,000 and go up and up as you add more technological complexities. For some people, these gadgets are massively appealing and worth the extra cash, but for those who just want a solid, capable machine without any intervention or distraction, the Tenere really seems to have hit a sweet spot. But the Tenere line goes much further back than 2019. The first was introduced in 1983, and Yamaha have chosen to celebrate it with this rally edition. There's a special paint job, as you may have noticed, as well as some additional lightweight equipment to boost performance. The original XT600Z Tenere was ridden for the Sonorto Yamaha team in the Dakar Rally by Serge Baku and Jean-Claude Olivier. They finished 5th and 7th respectively in 1983 and 6th and 9th in 1984 on bikes also in this bold colour scheme. The Tenere 700 Rally pays tribute with blue and yellow paint and black Yamaha speed blocks. Personally, I've always liked the way the standard Tenere looks, especially in black, but for some folks that might be a bit too subtle, so this Rally edition certainly offers a more punchy look with a little touch of retro. This bike should also be more capable and protected off-road with some of the extras that Yamaha have chosen to fit. There's a heavy-duty 4mm thick aluminium skid plate, an aluminium radiator guard, and a premium aluminium chain guard too. The Rally edition also gets a Rally seat which boosts overall seat height by 20mm to 895. Yamaha say that it will aid moving between sitting and standing positions, and there's also a white Yamaha logo printed on it to add to the slightly retro look of the bike. An Akropovich slip-on exhaust is also standard on this Rally model, enriching the sound of that cross-plane twin whilst also shedding a bit of weight versus the standard item. A carbon bracket and heat shield give it a more premium sporty look. Rubber grip pads and off-road specific handlebar grips ought to make it easier to hold onto, and LED indicators finish things off nicely. There's no price as of yet for this Rally edition, but it looks like a nice little update and will make a special bike to own for someone who remembers the era of that original Tenere. What do you guys make of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you like these retro paint jobs just like Suzuki have done with the V-Strom 1050? Or does a modern bike like the Tenere look best with an appropriately modern paint job? I think I'd still go for the black personally, but let me know what you think. And as always, if you're new here and you'd like to see more videos like this, hit subscribe and I'll catch you next time.